Welcome back to another episode of Eww Adulting. It is a crazy world out there, and adulting is hard, and it's tiring, and it definitely takes an emotional toll. But that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to go through life as an adult, day by day, podcast by podcast, and see how we go. Now, welcome to this new thing I'm trying. Vodcast, video podcast. I have seen these done plenty of times, but I haven't done it. And I told myself I wanted to see what it was like, see how it would go, and see if it was worth it. But also, I feel like you're able to see how I'm explaining something better. Because sometimes when you're having a conversation or you're listening to something, it's hard to know what someone's trying to say. Unless you go off of facial expression, for example. And this is that. So let's get into it. I haven't done one of these since January. I think it was like the first week into January. And I'm pretty sure I said it would be my trial week. Because the first week of January it was not great. January, it was a trial month, but that's okay. Sometimes things just start out rough, but I kept seeing these, little quotes, and they were, just because you didn't have the great first month of 2026 doesn't mean it defines your year. And that's true. I definitely let that define a little bit, and I shouldn't have, but I'm also human. Like, things weren't great, and I didn't deal with it the best ways. But here we are. It is now March. It is basically the middle of March now. So much for the consistency. But that's a-okay. What's changed since then is I'm 24 now. I was 23, obviously. But I'm 24 now, so that didn't really make me feel different. I think if you listened to my episode on birthdays and how emotional they can make you, it definitely was. I didn't feel as emotional, I think, as I have in previous years, but I felt it after my birthday. So it was like a post-birthday depression, I guess. And I'm a year closer to my quarter-century life crisis. So when you hit 25 years, it's a quarter of a century and you have a crisis. So that's exciting. I have less than 12 months now to prepare myself for that. But we'll see how that goes. I yawn a lot. Like, the amount of control it takes for me to not yawn when I'm recording these, crazy. So yeah, I've turned 24. I still don't have a full-time job. I got an interview for one. I didn't end up getting it, but they said I'd interviewed well, so that was good. It's always nice to hear positive feedback about something that was hard for you, and putting yourself out there for a job interview is hectic. I have done full-time job interviews before, but it was a long time ago, and because I've been at the same job, I haven't really had interviews. I talk to people every day when I'm at work because it's customer service. So, of course, you're talking to people all the time, every day. But it's different when you have to sell yourself. And when you sell yourself, you have to try and think of the best qualities about you and your career or your professionalism and how that will benefit you, how that will get you the job. And I'm not always one to think that I have great qualities. I'm not saying, like, I'm a terrible person, but there's definitely times where I think, oh, I'm just a terrible person. Like, there's nothing really going for me. And although it's not true, like my friends will tell me, my family will tell me, my partner, everyone will tell me that that's not true, but it's the own yawn again. Yeah. It's my own pressure that I put on myself, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. Everyone around me would know that. And it's not good. It's a really bad habit. I should break it. I haven't. It's a work in progress, but it's a long work in progress. So, yeah. But it was good, and I am still nervous to do it again when the time comes that I do, but I have an appreciation for knowing that I've done it once already in this new phase of trying to get through finding more of me. So, yeah, that really is the only thing that's changed. There's about to be a lot of change coming up, and I think it's safe to say that that is the topic for today's Eww Adulting podcast episode. So, change. It happens a lot. Is it fun? No. Is it worth it sometimes? Definitely not. And does it happen all the time? I think I definitely already said that. That's an ADHD moment right there. Yes. I have never been one to enjoy change. I don't really know a lot of people that enjoy change. I can probably count on my fingers, on one hand, the amount of people that I know that like change. And I don't actually think I can think of anybody. If I did think, we'd probably be here for a while. Yeah, definitely we'd be here for a while. Anyways, so, yeah, there's about to be a lot of change. Currently, where I am is my bedroom. And I have been doing a lot of my recordings, I guess you could say, in here. However, when I actually think back, I think I recorded a lot of my episodes in the living room or the dining table or whatever. But this is my room. You can't really see it, but she's a little bit darker than other areas that I've not filmed, recorded. But that's about to change. My sister and, oh my goodness. If anyone knows how to fix being tired all the time, let me know, because I am constantly tired. So my sister and her partner moved in 2024. It's now 2026, and they moved in after we had the sudden passing of my dad. So they have been here for the last couple of years, and I moved downstairs and they moved upstairs. So they will be moving out, and I will be moving myself back upstairs, but this time my partner will be moving in, so I'm taking someone with me. He's always here, or I'm at his, so like we're always really with one another, but I couldn't move out with him, or even just move out in general, because I didn't have the funds to move out. And I'm not saying that you necessarily have to, but in this economy, you have to. And I wouldn't have been able to enjoy myself. If I had moved out, I wouldn't have had a life. I would have spent all my money on the bills, and I just wouldn't be able to do anything. I couldn't go out with friends because I don't have a full-time job. So my money does flow, and it changes every week. So I wasn't able to, and I was a full-time uni student, and it just wasn't justifiable for me to move out. But the time and the opportunity, if you could say, has presented itself for me to, I guess, take that next step with Kyle. And he will one of these days be on an episode, because I have my second mic, and I just haven't used it with two people yet. Because when I was going to originally, I couldn't. I didn't have the right software downloaded on my computer to do that. But now, I think I do. Haven't actually tried it since I downloaded it, so that's nice. That was also me just cracking something on my desk, which is so nice. But moving on. So yeah, it's going to be a change, because my sister and her husband are moving out, and they're taking the cat, which is really sad, because I love my sweet little niecey poo. But yeah, she's going to be gone. And because we don't have any other pets at the moment, it will be a very interesting household. I've never had a house growing up without pets. There's always been pets. Like, from the time I was a baby, it was 2 pets, then it was 3, then it was 4, then it was back down to 3, then back down to 2, then 1. So, I've never not had pets in the household. So, when the time comes and it's right, hopefully my partner and I will get a cat or a dog when my mom comes back from overseas, because she's been overseas for a little while, dealing with some things, like stateside and whatnot. We're hoping to get a dog, so that'll be exciting. A little puppy, hopefully, in the mix. So that'll be good. But that's also going to be a change. But yeah, it's going to be a change when my mom comes back for one, just because she's been away for a while. And then a change when my sister and her partner move out. And then a change when my partner moves in. So my recording space will change a little bit. And it will probably sound a little different just because different environment, different atmosphere. But I am looking forward to it. Yes, change is hard, and it is. It's stressful, and it gives a lot of anxiety. But this is one of those things that I'm excited for. Change isn't always easy. When my dad passed away, that was a change that none of us saw coming, and that was a change none of us wanted. That's a change where it sucks. It really does. And the change where my partner is going to move in, that's a good change. And I am not one of those people who likes to say everything happens for a reason. Because I shouldn't say this because it's just not right. I hate change, okay? I know hate is a strong word, but I hate change. I hate it. Oh my goodness. It's so stressful. Like, my brain can only do so much, and I've got ADHD, so it's already doing a lot up here anyways. But besides the point, that was a difficult change. But this change, like I said, I'm looking forward to. It'll definitely test the limits of certain things, but those limits need to be tested in order to help with the future, if that makes sense. So that's another change. And then if we get a pet, we have to then deal with taking care of the pet, and then vet checkups and food and all that stuff. Like, there's a lot of change coming. So it's going to be crazy. And I think one of the best ways that I can suggest trying to deal with change is taking a deep breath, for one. Everyone suggests that, so I know it seems really annoying to have to be like, oh my gosh, deep breathing, blah, 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 but it helps. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath because you need just a moment. The amount of times that I don't take a deep breath because I'm just getting so ahead of myself. I need to take one because I need to really focus on what I'm doing. I need to calm my brain down. And sometimes that's the best thing because you're not talking. You close your eyes and you take a deep breath and you're just trying to be with one in that moment. So take a deep breath. I think if you need, find something to fidget with. Like, if you're trying to focus on something and it is hard for you to focus, because trust me, I have been there. When there's change, you've got to focus. So find something to entertain yourself. For me, I have a little cubby hole of little fidgety toys, because I fidget a lot. So if you can see them, and I'll still describe them to you, I have a little fidget cube, I have 2 fidget spinners, and I have whatever the one is that you've got, let me just take it out and do a show and tell. The one that has the 2 key rings with little plasticky bits and it just spins around in a circle. I don't know what that's called, but I have one of them. And then I took this off a perfume bottle. It's a little pom-pom ball. So it's fun. It's quiet, because some of the ones I have aren't quiet. So if you need a quiet one, pom-pom ball. I actually got this off of an Ariana Grande perfume bottle. So because it was kind of annoying me. It was always getting in the way. So I just took it off and I was like, hey, look at that. I can squish it. Well, a squishy. That's another one. But yeah, try and focus. Find ways to focus while keeping yourself sane. I guess if that's good advice. I don't really know, because I feel like that's kind of like a negative. But like if there's a lot going on, you need to focus, but you can't because you find your mind racing. Even something like this will help, like a little fidgety toy. Stay hydrated. We don't need people passing out from dehydration here, because that's another thing. I think people, especially if they're trying to have a bunch of conversations about change, your mouth gets dry and then you jumble up your words. And it sounds really, really stupid. I'm not going to lie what I'm saying, but it matters. And if you have your body hydrated, it all connects. Everything in your body connects. Obviously, your brain is in control of everything. What you say, what you think, what you do, everything. So having a hydrated body also helps. So do that. And again, I know that sounds so stupid, and this is probably some of the worst advice that you're ever going to hear, but it means something. I think trying to talk to people about change. Excuse me. Trying to talk to people about change. That's important. I don't think that you should try and go through any change alone. Going through change alone can be really difficult, because you can sometimes get yourself into a rabbit hole that's very dark and you don't know how to get out. And we don't want that. We're trying to get through life the best that we can. And I know that there's going to be days that are hard, but they don't always have to be. So talk to someone who understands the change, or even if they don't, just tell them that you need them to listen. And if they're a true friend, they'll listen to you. So don't discount talking to people about these kind of things. And it doesn't matter how big or how small the change may be. If it's a change for you, it's important. It matters. And I'm trying to think of a small change that may seem, well, small, I guess, to me, but maybe big for others. And I can't necessarily think of it right now just because I haven't really thought of one. Like I didn't have one in the archives just ready to go, but talk to someone. And if you don't have a friend or a best friend or someone close by or whatever, sometimes you need to talk to someone professionally, and they can help you because they are the professionals. They are there to help you manage what's going on in your life. And sometimes exercise helps with the change. You sometimes need to get yourself away from it. And I think that's another thing that people don't realize. And I am definitely speaking to myself when I say that, because sometimes I get so involved in the change, or I don't get involved enough, and my brain is constantly just racing all over the place. So what you need to do is you need to change your environment. So if I'm in the process of doing something here, for example, in my room, I can get so overwhelmed because there's so much going on in my room. My room is quite a mess. Mind you, it looks a little bit clean now because you're not looking at the mess. But if there's a lot going on, sometimes I need to change the scenery. I need to get out of what's keeping me in my head. And that could be going to the gym, going to Pilates. I've been doing Pilates. Oh, that's a change I've been doing. Go to Pilates. Go on a walk. We have a beautiful walking area around like where I'm living. So go for a walk, go outside, go grab a coffee. It can be just changing from my bedroom to the living room. It's a change of scenery. Those are little changes that are good because you're taking the initiative to calm your mind down. And I think that's the biggest thing I'm trying to get at is when there's a lot of change going on, you need to try and find ways to calm your mind. And that's hard because there's so many moving parts of change. And even if it doesn't directly involve you, and you're still involved, you still have your own life. You have your own well-being. You have your own family. You have, whatever it may be. You still have to deal with that change. So finding things that make you happy. I love doing word search books, and I just got back into them for a while because I neglected them for a very long time. They definitely give me a headache after a while, but it's good fun. I enjoy it. It gives my brain a chance to decompress to a point. Reading a book. I read a lot of books last year, and I've only read 2, and it's March. So I've been skimping on that one a little bit, but reading, it can get your mind to a new place. And I can't remember the word, but it's the thing where when you read, you picture it in your mind. And if you don't have that, I don't know how to fix that, but you're missing out. And I'm sorry if you do miss out on that, but if you have it where you can read and you can picture a story in your mind, that's great. Let it take you somewhere else. And sometimes all the stress of change, you forget to remember that what you're about to change could be the best change of your life. And I think that's what I'm going to try and tell myself when I get a full-time job. Even if it's not in the degree specific area that I'd like to do, then I just have to try and remind myself that this is not what I was expecting, but it'll create the change that I need to happen for my life so I can get to where I want to go. And vision boards, that's what vision boards are for. They can help with change because you can imagine and picture things in a form that you love. And you don't have to necessarily tell everybody about the change. Sometimes it's nice to just keep it to yourself because you don't have everybody else's opinion coming at you. Do you know what I mean? And that's also important. So I think balancing the change between, or I guess balancing talking to people about change and not is good. So having a balance of keeping it to yourself and talking to people. Taking deep breaths, making sure that you're keeping your body healthy. Eat great foods, drink water, stay hydrated, eat nourishing things that keep your brain focused and okay. Because if you're going through a lot of change and your body's letting you down, it's because you're not taking care of yourself. And you need to do that. We're all on the same path here. We're all trying to get through life and be happy and be successful to a point that we can put food on the table and have a roof over our heads. And for everyone, that looks different. When someone wants to talk to you about change, listen to them. Don't discount their feelings. Don't let them feel silly or stupid. And if they want your advice, they'll ask for it. And I speak to myself when I say that because sometimes I just give advice without it being needed. But it's good to just listen because when you listen, other people have ideas and thoughts on things that you may have never realized. So take a chance. Listen to someone else. And remember, things will be okay. That is the biggest thing, is that things will be okay. Because it can really, really feel like it's not in a lot of the moments. But it can be. You just have to do yourself a favor and believe that the change will be okay. And I know that's hard, but I believe in you. You are loved, you're special, and you are capable of absolutely anything. And don't let anybody else tell you that you're not. And go change the world. That's the biggest thing that you can ever want, hey? Changing the world. So, yeah. This episode was all over the place, and I know that I definitely went on a few tangents. Again, that's the ADHD talking. So, but I hope that you were able to get a little bit of something from this, and your mind was put at ease, because I'm about to go through a bit of change, and this will be a good reminder for me to nourish my body the right way, exercise my body the right way, stay hydrated, and just take a moment and breathe and decompress. So I hope that helps. And I can't wait to see what the next episode brings. Hopefully it comes sooner than the last one. Or, well, sooner than this one. Because the last one was like 2 months ago, if that makes sense. So yeah. This was Eww Adulting. change is unavoidable. And it's hard, but if you take the right steps, it can be one of the best things in the world for you. So trust the process. And I say that to myself all the time, so you're not alone. Thank you all for listening and watching, if you watched. And hopefully we will be back again soon. Until then, this is Eww Adulting, and we'll catch you next time.